Sup, everybody? It's the homie Truth Teller, the street reporter. And a lot of people always ask me about the drill culture. And I want to speak on this again. I always speak on this in blogs, but I'm telling you, I be seeing it. I see everything. I'm not sure if people really fully understand the drill culture. The interviews be messy. They the police. They starting wars. They starting beef. They opening up old wounds. I get it. And I do feel it could be some authenticity to some of those claims in certain instances. But I'm not sure people understand. Like I tell them, this is not Millennium Park. I'm not interviewing a guy who's speaking about church. I'm not interviewing someone who's speaking about the Wi-Fi that they got free downtown in certain spots. We talking about young kids in the urban community. We talking about the drill culture, where some subjects be a little sketchy. I get it. But what people don't understand is this culture is real. And I get why people get irritated at some of the bloggers and interviewers. The killers then got crazy, I understand it. But we can't just pick people, and I say that all the time. When I first looked into this culture, when I first started, I was doing this shit for a while. I want to say, I've been blogging for a while. I kind of stopped, though. Shit happened in life. Things started happening. I came back about a year ago. Truth Teller TV, we here, we doing interviews, blog sites, crime scenes, all kind of shit. We trying to figure out the culture because I think this is a time period in the future a lot of people gonna look back on and say, damn, that shit was crazy. And instead of you thinking about what happened and instead of you coming up with spur of the moment ass conclusions like, man, they ass need to go to school, pull their pants up, parents need to raise them better. It's a little bigger than that, man. When thousands of people are dying, think about it. 500, 600, 700, 800 people died in a year. How many people died in Chicago the last 10 years? How many people died in Chicago the last 20 years, Tim? How many people died in Chicago the last 20 years? That ain't a pandemic. That ain't a pandemic. But when they start hitting people that went from the urban communities, they start telling you to stand 10 feet, stand 10 feet, stand 6 feet away from it. Put a mask on your face. Stay in the house. You can't go to school. You can't go in these stores. You got to get a vaccine in your arm. You got to get the medicine in your arm. When it start hitting certain people, and I tell people that, not to throw this over your head because I do think something real with the shit. People dying from this weird shit in the air. I'm not saying it ain't real. I'm not saying it ain't fake. You got to do what's best for your family. That ain't what I'm trying to say. But I'm trying to tell you something else. You know what else out here dangerous? You want to know what else out here dangerous? That cancer shit, man. Shit like when the chemo, man. Shit like surgeries. People got heart problems. Why they ain't giving that shit out free? But I ain't got nothing to say about that. But like I'm telling you with the drill culture, I'm not sure people understand. When I talk to these people, they tend to tell you what they see in front of their eyes, They can't lie about it. They not lying. When I get a guy, I get him in this chair right here, man. I have him sit down, man, and I put that camera right there, man, and I ask him a question. He sit in front of that camera, and I ask him something, man, and he tell me his life story. He don't tell me your story. He tell me his life story. It might not sound like yours because you ain't come from where he from. And I'm going to tell you something I noticed in these interviews. A lot of these people are just like me. A lot of them just like me, man. A lot of them come from the struggle I come from. A lot of them went through the same shit that I went through. Only thing is they on the internet. They giving you an image, I ain't saying that they ain't street niggas and they won't run up on you with the butt. I ain't saying that. I'm just saying a lot of them come from the struggle, and if you look at it different, I think a young man who come from the hood, who writes a poem, gets a beat, put it on the beat, upload it to YouTube, get some promotion, drop it, then blow up. I think he's an entrepreneur. I think he got the wrong guidance, But out here, it's treacherous, and people getting tired of that shit. It's also a bad side of the drill culture. We got to be honest. When I first started doing this shit, man, a little while ago, it was really only people like DJ Academics, Zach TV, College Kid, not too much. And then came like me, I believe like Long Way was here. He had another name back here in entertainment. Then other blog sites came. Not to just discredit no one, because it probably was other blogs. I ain't been thinking about it. I've been off the cuss. I ain't been thinking about it. But what I'm saying is, I have seen the culture get wild. And this culture, man, this shit is demonic, it's deceptive. We have seen people accuse drill rappers of killing someone in front of their kids. We done seen people in the drill culture lose their life at nightclubs, parties, hanging out on the blocks, people leaving jails. Man, we done seen killings in Chicago and home invasions and all kind of shit that involved the drill culture. All the top rappers are killed. And that's not to say that in a good way. People ask me who my favorite rapper, who I listen to all the time, who my favorite drill rapper, and it be hard because shit, most of them gone. What I'm gonna tell you, Vaughn? I'm gonna tell you L.A. Capone, FBG Duck, Fredo Santana. Now, he wasn't murdered or nothing, but he not here. You know, what can I tell you? My favorite drill artists, like when they ask you, like, who's some of the best artists? Like, if they're not locked up, they're not here. This culture got swallowed up. That's the reason why a lot of other cultures propel. You know, a lot of stars blew up out of New York. A lot of stars blew up out of Jacksonville because nobody wanted to take the culture really wrong with it. A lot of people credit Dirk of taking the culture to a different level, but let's be honest, Dirk always been raw. Dirk always been dope. Dirk always had the flow. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. He always had them songs. I'm not dissing. We always knew Dirk was hot. But when Drake did that song with him, he basically did that. He said, when Drake did that song with him, Drake did that. He said, took him out of that little boy league and set him in that major league. Drake changed his life. He was on the path to change his own life, but Drake sped it up. Let's just be honest with this shit now. You know, but in this drill culture, it done bred a lot of bad shit. But it bred a lot of good shit, man. There's a lot of young men who I know for a fact could be dead if it weren't for the drill culture because they making money off that shit. They feeding their families. I know a lot of niggas who wouldn't be here, but they decent now because they road managers, they booking agents, they security for their homeboy who a famous rapper. The culture did a lot of shit. The culture done gave out jobs, bloggers and interviewers. These jobs weren't here before the drill culture. I don't think people understand that. So I documented the culture because I feel like this is a time period that's going to be crazy. Man, look, we seen FBG Wooski take a headshot at a funeral of a famous rapper who lost his life weeks earlier in Chicago. We seen the police allege PBG Lil Sean enough shooting the guy in front of his kids, allegedly. Police just arrested Moowop, C-Thang them for the murder of FBG Duck, allegedly. Quando Rondo homeboy is fighting a case for killing King Von, allegedly. Not allegedly, we seen it, but in self-defense, allegedly. These are all the things we done seen. I done been in the drill culture so long, man. I seen FBG Brick lose his life, man. I seen Duck lose his life. I seen TB lose his life. And these are all guys I interviewed, you know? And it's other guys, not just to name them, it's other guys in the culture, you know, the Goonie Loonies, the Moo Crumps, you know, a lot more guys. I actually interviewed EBE Bands. We got the EBE Band story finna drop pretty soon too, because I got some updated news on EBE Bands. Shit crazy. His story was crazy. I feel like his story was kind of covered up in the media a lot. You know, people made stories about the mob and running off on the plug and all kind of shit. I heard this was some grisly, dirty ass backdoor shit, and I'm gonna tell you the story on it, alright? But when I tell you the drill culture, you know, they say Bands was beaten with a baseball bat and set on fire. That's in the drill culture. Now, who doing this weird Al Capone back in the day, 1960, black and white TV type of shit? Who doing that kind of shit? Like, what nothing ass nigga doing that kind of shit? And that's allegedly, but that's why I'm saying I understand this drill culture is deep, and that's the reason why we talk to the young people. We want to get it from the horse's mouth, you know? Shanika want to know when she going to visit her boyfriend around that corner, she going to be safe in that neighborhood. You feel me? And Tim want to know when he come over there and visit Keisha, he going to be safe in the hood. He want to know what's going on. That's why he tuned in to Tech TV, you know? On this platform, we ain't looking to trick you or nothing like that. We looking to give you the truth. I appreciate the love. Keep the donation to yourself. It's hard out here. The weather changed. You got to look out for them kids. You ain't got time to look out for me. I'm a grown-ass man. You want to look out for me, you pull your finger up like this. Bang. Got what you doing. You pull your finger up like this. You hit that like button. Boom. Guess what happens when you hit that like button? It make my videos grow. I appreciate the love. It's the homie True Teller Street Reporter. Blick, 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 blick.